I'm 81 years old, and if you're over 60, I need you to stop what you're doing right now and listen to me, because what I'm about to tell you could save your life. For 30 years, I did something every single morning that I thought was healthy. My doctor never told me to stop. My family never questioned it. I never even thought twice about it, until the day I collapsed in my kitchen and woke up in a hospital bed with a doctor standing over me saying, "Mr. Harrison, your kidneys are failing. If you don't change what you're doing, you have maybe 6 months." I'm going to tell you exactly what that morning habit was, and I promise you, when I say it out loud, you're going to think I'm crazy. You're going to think, that can't be dangerous. Everyone does that. But here's the thing. Everyone over 60 does it. And it's killing us quietly, slowly, without any warning signs until it's almost too late. My name is Edward. I live in a small town in Vermont. I was a high school teacher for 40 years. I retired at 65, feeling strong, healthy, proud. I had a routine. I was disciplined. Every morning, 6 a.m., I'd wake up, go straight to the kitchen, and I'd do the same thing I'd been doing since I was in my 40s. I'd drink a full glass of cold water, ice cold, right out of the fridge. Sometimes I'd even add ice cubes. I thought I was doing something good for my body. Hydration first thing in the morning, kickstart the metabolism, flush out toxins. That's what I'd read in magazines. That's what the internet said. That's what made sense. So I did it every single day, without fail. 16 ounces of ice-cold water on an empty stomach the moment my feet hit the floor. For years I felt fine, no problems. I'd drink my water, make my coffee, eat my oatmeal, go for my walk. I was living what I thought was a textbook healthy life. But then, around age 76, I started noticing things, small things, things I brushed off. I'd feel a little dizzy after drinking that water, just for a few seconds. I'd feel a tightness in my chest, a weird pressure. I'd cough a little. Nothing dramatic, nothing that made me call a doctor. I just thought, I'm getting older. This is normal. My hands started feeling cold more often. My fingers would go numb. I'd wake up in the middle of the night with cramps in my legs, sharp, painful cramps that would jolt me awake. I'd have to stand up, stretch, walk around the bedroom until they went away. My wife would ask, "Are you okay?" And I'd say, "Yeah, just a cramp. I'm fine." But I wasn't fine. By the time I was 79, I was peeing more at night. 3, 4, sometimes 5 times. I couldn't sleep through the night anymore. I was exhausted all the time. My energy was gone. I'd sit in my chair after lunch and just stare at the wall, too tired to read, too tired to even turn on the TV. My wife said, "Edward, you need to see a doctor." I said, "I'm 79. This is what happens when you get old." I was stubborn. I didn't want to admit something was wrong. I didn't want to be that guy who spends his retirement in doctor's offices. So I ignored it. I pushed through. I kept doing my routine. Wake up, drink the cold water, go through the motions. Then one morning, everything changed. It was a Tuesday. I remember because it was trash day. I woke up at 6 a.m. like always. I walked to the kitchen. I opened the fridge. I poured my glass of ice water. I lifted it to my lips. I took the first sip, and my chest exploded. Not exploded like pain, exploded like pressure, like someone had wrapped a belt around my rib cage and yanked it tight. Gasps. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't get air in. I dropped the glass. It shattered on the floor. I grabbed the counter. My vision went dark around the edges. I heard my wife screaming my name from the bedroom, and then I was on the floor. I don't remember falling. I just remember being down there, staring at the ceiling, feeling my heart pounding so hard I thought it was going to break through my chest. The ambulance came. I was awake the whole time, but I couldn't speak. I couldn't move. They put me on a stretcher. They hooked me up to machines. My wife was crying. I wanted to tell her I was okay, but I didn't know if I was. At the hospital, they ran tests, blood tests, EKG, ultrasound, CT scan. I was in the emergency room for 6 hours. Finally, a doctor came in, young guy, maybe 40. He sat down next to my bed and he said, "Mr. Harrison, your kidneys are in bad shape. Your filtration rate is down to 28%. Normal is above 90%. You're in stage 4 kidney disease." I stared at him. I didn't understand. I said, "How? I don't drink, I don't smoke, I eat healthy, I exercise." He said, "Tell me about your morning routine." So I told him, "Wake up, drink cold water." He stopped me right there. He said, "How cold?" I said, "Ice cold, from the fridge, sometimes with ice." He nodded. He didn't look surprised. He said, "How long have you been doing that?" I said, 30 years. A.B. Moore. He leaned back in his chair. He said, "That's your problem." Chuckles. I laughed. I actually laughed. I said, "Water. You're telling me water is killing me?" He said, "Not water. Cold water. On an empty stomach, first thing in the morning. Every single day for 30 years. And then he explained it to me, and I'm going to explain it to you because nobody talks about this. Serious. Nobody warns you. And it's happening to millions of people over 60 right now. When you're young, your body can handle thermal shock. That's what it's called. When you drink ice-cold liquid, your stomach temperature drops suddenly. Your blood vessels constrict. Your body has to work to bring your core temperature back up. When you're 30, 40, even 50, your cardiovascular system can handle that. But after 60, everything changes. Your blood vessels are stiffer. Your heart is weaker. Your kidneys are already working harder just to filter your blood. And when you shock your system with ice-cold water first thing in the morning, when your body is still waking up, when your blood pressure is naturally higher, you're putting massive strain on your heart and kidneys every single morning for years, and it adds up. The doctor told me that cold water on an empty stomach constricts the blood vessels around your stomach and intestines. This forces your heart to pump harder to get blood through those constricted vessels. Over time, this chronic stress damages the tiny blood vessels in your kidneys. They're called nephrons. And once they're damaged, they don't come back. Your kidney function drops. Slowly, silently. You don't feel it happening. There's no pain, no warning. Until one day, you're at 28% kidney function and you're looking at dialysis or a transplant. He said if you had come in 6 months from now, you'd be on a machine 3 times a week for the rest of your life. I sat there in that hospital bed and I felt like the stupidest man alive. 30 years. I thought I was being healthy. I thought I was doing the right thing. And I was slowly destroying my kidneys. The doctor told me to stop immediately. No more cold water in the morning. In fact, he said, drink warm water. Room temperature at the coldest. He said warm water does the opposite. It relaxes your blood vessels. It helps your digestion. It supports your kidneys instead of stressing them. He said in traditional Chinese medicine, they've known this for thousands of years. We're just now starting to understand why. I went home that day with a list of instructions. Stop the cold water. Drink warm water with a little lemon. Eat smaller meals. Walk after eating. Monitor my blood pressure. And pray that my kidneys could recover even a little bit. I followed every single instruction. Every morning I'd boil water, let it cool to warm, and drink it slowly. At first it felt wrong. It didn't feel refreshing. It didn't wake me up the way cold water did. But after 2 weeks I started noticing things. My chest didn't feel tight anymore. I wasn't dizzy. The cramps in my legs stopped. I was sleeping better. I wasn't getting up 5 times a night to pee. After 1 month, I went back for blood work. My kidney function had improved. Not much, but it had improved. 28% to 32%. The doctor said, oh, keep going, you're doing everything right. Relieved. After 3 months, I was at 38%. After 6 months, I was at 42%. I'm never going to get back to 90%. That damage is permanent, but I'm stable, I'm alive, I'm not on dialysis, I'm not waiting for a transplant, and I'm here to tell you this story. If you're over 60 and you're drinking ice cold water first thing in the morning, stop right now. Tomorrow morning, don't do it. Boil some water tonight. Let it cool. Drink it warm. I know it sounds crazy. I know you're thinking, this man is exaggerating. Water can't be that dangerous. But I'm telling you, it nearly killed me. And I'm not special. I'm not weak. I was a healthy, active man. And this one habit, this one thing I thought was good for me, destroyed my kidneys over 3 decades. Nobody told me. My doctor never asked. It wasn't on any checklist. It wasn't in any health magazine I read. But it was real. And it was happening inside my body every single day. I wish someone had told me this at 50. I wish I'd known before the damage started. But I didn't. So now I'm telling you. If you're over 60, your body is different. It doesn't work the same way it did when you were 40. The things that used to be fine can now be dangerous. Cold water in the morning is one of them. Don't wait until you're in a hospital bed. Don't wait until a doctor tells you your kidneys are failing. Change it tomorrow. Warm water. That's it. One small change. Exhales. It could save your life. It saved mine.